And hello everybody, welcome back to British Stand. A bit of breaking news for you this afternoon in a follow-up of an attack that occurred yesterday in Huddersfield. And to be honest with you, it is a heartbreaking story. It really is. It's absolutely shocking to see young life, of course, being taken away in the streets of the United Kingdom. A 16-year-old boy today, has died after yesterday's attack after being slashed in the throat. Absolutely disgusting to see, absolutely disgusting to hear. We're going to go through the full story, go through the police statements and what we know with regard to this. But as always, guys, do let me know your thoughts in the comment section below and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and let's get into what we know with regard to this Huddersfield horror. A teenager has now died after being stabbed in the neck in a Horror Town Centre attack in broad daylight. Emergency services were called to Ramsden Street in Huddersfield at around 2:45 p.m. on Thursday. The boy was taken to hospital where he died earlier today, it has been confirmed. West Yorkshire Police have confirmed a man aged 20 has been arrested in connection with the incident. Another man aged 22 and a woman aged 20 have also been arrested on the suspicion of assisting the offender. Detective Chief Inspector Damien Ruberg said this is a tragic incident where a young man has lost his life as a result of a knife injury. Our initial investigation to indicate that it was an isolated incident, and local neighbourhood officers are carrying out reassurance patrols in the area. I want to thank witnesses who have come forward so far and would urge anyone who witnessed the incident or has any information that can help our inquiry to please come forward. More on this is in terms of witness statements, people had said, one woman in the town centre yesterday said, "This is absolutely heartbreaking. A senseless loss of young boy get caught carrying a knife. It should be a mandatory sentence whether it's been used or not." Another eyewitness, Steve Gregson, said, "I just came out of Greg's and saw blood on the pavement. It must have just happened as there was no police or ambulance there. Just two women attending to him. The lad was covered in blood from head to foot. Blood was running down the pavement. I'm still thinking about it." Labour MP for Huddersfield, Harpreet Uppal, wrote on X, "This is a horrific incident and my thoughts are with the young man's family. No one should ever have to go through this. I have spoken with the Chief Superintendent this morning and will continue to speak with local partners. A man has been arrested in the connection with the incident. Officers from West Yorkshire Police, Homicide and Major Inquiry Team have launched a murder investigation and are asking that anyone with information about the incident contact them by calling 101 or go online." Another eyewitness saw two women kneeling beside the lad, covered in head to foot in blood. Emergency services remain at the scene with a police presence expected in the town centre for the rest of the day. So absolutely heartbreaking stuff there. A young 16-year-old boy has been killed after being stabbed in the neck. Disgusting scenes. Now, we don't actually know the individuals who have been arrested thus far, but there is currently a rumour, if you want to call it that, going around on X. Obviously, I can't speculate on a murder investigation, unfortunately, at this moment in time with the information that we've got. That's the UK for you, but there is a rumour, a big rumour going around via large accounts on X as to the background of this individual. So again, I'm not going to say anything here, but we will keep you updated as time goes on with regard to this murder investigation. But my goodness me, my thoughts and prayers, of course, again, I hate saying it, but have to in this time, my thoughts and prayers go to this young boy's family. 16-year-old boy, stabbed in the neck by 20-year-old in broad daylight in Huddersfield. Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Now, we don't know what the motive was. We don't know what happened. We don't know what went on and why this has been carried out. But still, young life is just being taken away on British streets at this moment in time and shows no signs of slowing down. We reported on a double stabbing attack in London, 2 days ago, outside a college, where two boys, 17-year-old boys, were stabbed, and now I don't think theirs was fatal as such, but now we've got a fatal incident here where a 16-year-old boy has been killed. When's enough enough? As I've said so many times, the Labour government are so focused on stopping the merchant, trying to stop the sales of certain specific knives and swords. As stated a week ago, the ninja sword was banned. What use is the ninja sword? Banning the ninja sword, they did it as if they cured the knife crime epidemic in this country after they made that announcement with regard to the ninja sword. Does nothing, absolutely nothing. They need to get to the root cause. Education and large deterrence for individuals carrying around knives in public. You need to set people, you need to put people in prison for 25 years. Just roll out the law, 25 years, you get caught with a knife, you're in prison, 25 years. And yeah, some people may need to lay by the wayside as a part of this to try and stop young boys, people carrying around with knives in this country. Again, you can't ban knives, but you can stop people from carrying them by large deterrence, and especially education. It's getting so bad. Lots of youngsters. I'm starting to hear a lot of stuff within colleges at this moment in time. Knife attacks, knife fights. When's it going to end? And again, I told you so many times before, I mean, you already know, guys. But in London, it's not a London problem. It's going everywhere. It's coming to Huddersfield now. There's probably people from Yorkshire watching on in now and probably can tell me what Huddersfield is like these days, but Yorkshire used to be a lovely place. It used to be. But certainly looks like it's getting its fair share of the violence that you get in the United Kingdom. This is just modern day Britain. This is just what happens. It's absolutely disgusting to see. Now let's get into the live chat, troops. Let's take your reaction on this disgusting, shocking incident where a 16-year-old boy has been killed after being stabbed in the neck in broad daylight. Disgraceful. We've got a donation from Nina. Thank you so much for your generosity, Nina. She says, "Oh dear God, when is this going to stop? Condolences to all of the family." Absolutely, I echo that entirely. Of course, you do want those thoughts and prayers to go out to the family. But when is it going to stop with thoughts and prayers to the family? You know, when are we going to try and stop the next young 16-year-old boy from getting stabbed and killed? We need to start doing something. But Nina, thank you so much for generosity and your donation. Thank you very much. Let's get into some of the non-super chat, guys. So if you haven't already, give me your thoughts. Do let me know. Let's see what people are saying with regard to this shocking murder in broad daylight. Margaret Jackson says, "Oh my God, enough is enough. The government and the police need to get their act together. There were problems when I was young, but nothing like this." I think a lot of people are saying it. There's certainly a rise. I mean, I think the data would certainly back that up. I spent amongst youths at this moment in time. Again, I struggle to understand what a 20-year-old and two other people that were assisting with this wanted with a 16-year-old boy. Again, more information will come out in due course. Of course, it probably will. Unless if it's from a certain demographic, we probably won't hear about it for a few months or next year or something like that. But usually we should get a bit more information with regard to this murder investigation as to what was going on. What was the motive? What was it all about? Why did a young 16-year-old boy get his throat slashed in broad daylight? We still don't know that just yet. Alex says, "Obviously I don't know, but I've seen incidents like this here and they're normally drug related. 2 guys, 1 girl, go buy no money, they jump the guy and rob him. Obviously not sure, maybe." Again, potentially. Again, we're only speculating at this time, and you know in the United Kingdom we can't speculate, weirdly enough. I don't know why. I really don't know why. Lena says, "Huddersfield had no-go areas 40 years ago. The student accommodation was given over to immigrants. There will be no surprise to the locals." Okay, thank you for that information. I don't know what Huddersfield is like these days. I'm just going on the county of Yorkshire. It used to be a nice place if you avoid certain areas, I suppose. Bradford, Sheffield. No, Sheffield's actually quite a nice place. I've been to Sheffield a few times. Bradford, probably want to avoid that. Used to live near Leeds. Harrogate, beautiful place. I did my army training there when I was a young 16-year-old boy, so I was at Harrogate, and I loved Harrogate, and the surrounding areas of Harrogate was absolutely beautiful. So Yorkshire can be a lovely place, has been a lovely place, but certainly probably some no-go areas across the county, which is disgusting. Okay, I'm getting told that Huddersfield's a shithole. Huddersfield, like every town and big city, blighted with drugs. Okay, thank you for updating me. Sorry if you're watching from Huddersfield. I suppose you guys are getting absolutely rinsed by people in the live chat saying it's an absolute hellhole. I tried to do a bit of justice for Yorkshire. Nice place, but certainly do have your no-go areas in the city. Andy says, "What is going on in society now? There is no deterrent and the sentencing is not enough. 5 years for carrying a knife, and if you kill someone else, it's 30 years, and you have to do that time." Again, we have really, really poor sentences, but deterrence, I suppose, for carrying a knife can be really, really harsh. Now, not to say that, you announce this new law, maybe bringing in 25 years, bringing in a life sentence. I know we've got really poor life sentences as a country anyway, but if you're caught handling a knife in terms of out in a public place, you get 25 years. And as stated, some people are going to have to be that experimental and fall by the wayside, unfortunately. And then over time, of course, you can see if the numbers go down. But again, I think deterrents work. They do really, really well. I mean, if you go to Indonesia, some people would say that their deterrent for drug smuggling is very, very bad. You get death. There's been Brits, there's been Australians, there's been Americans that have been killed on death row in Indonesia for bringing drugs into the country. But it's a big deterrent, that's said, is written clearly, and they probably, and along with Singapore, probably have the least amounts of drugs within their country. I've been in Indonesia many, many times, and I never get offered drugs on a night out. I never get offered anything because I just don't feel there is any drugs, or at least it's very hidden away. So deterrents do work. Large deterrents do work. And that's just an instance with regard to Indonesia, Singapore. They have death penalty for drugs. And it's something that works because people don't want to risk it. Got another donation. Thank you so much, Desert Vet. He donates $10 and says, a knife injury and calling it an incident. It's called a stabbing, not an inquiry. It was a murder and not an incident. And that's what's wrong with the UK right there. Yeah, I probably, again, did my fair share of saying those words as well. Yep, sorry, absolutely, it's a murder, not an incident, it's a murder. It is a murder investigation, and the boy was killed, which is absolutely shocking and disgusting to see. Carl Harrison says Indonesia is a Muslim country, I believe, which is probably why they don't put up with it. Yeah, I mean, but then again, you can say what you want about the country as such. I think it's in a good state. I don't think they have like extremism or anything like that. It's a very well-run country, in terms of, yeah, there's a lot of poverty, but yeah, I mean, I don't think they will have massive amounts of problems with drugs. Singapore as well, and you could probably say, well, Singapore is the same size as a town like Portsmouth or something like that, but it still works. Deterrents do work. They've been proven time and time again. But education as well for the youngsters. Don't bullshit people with adolescence and that sort of crap. That's not the reason. Education in other aspects as well. It's not tragic, it's murder. They won't tell you who did it. Probably. Welcome to the UK. We probably won't get an update for a very, very long time. Storm Bear says, this is unbelievable. The amount of crime in the UK, lives just wasted. Some mother will be crying tonight, going to their son's bedroom, and they're not there. No son at a dinner table. So sad. It is. Young people. 16-year-old boy, life ahead of him. And again, we're starting to see it so often. Youngsters being the targets in these attacks. As I said, 2 17-year-old boys stabbed. Whilst not fatal, still stabbed outside of college in London 2 days ago. So it's happening more and more often, which is absolutely disgusting to see. Stephen says, look at the trajectory we are on. We will either rise up or go to hell. Richard Tracy says, carrying a knife, 25 years, using it 50 years, murdering someone, life in prison with no parole. Good way of doing stuff, absolutely. Lona says, it's here in the Netherlands too, Germany too. We're starting to see it all over Europe. I know we've got a fair few international viewers as well. So yeah, shout out to the people watching from outside the United Kingdom as well. But yeah, as stated, it was Amsterdam yesterday with some muppet with a car. Now we're starting to see these. And this isn't necessarily the same thing, but we're starting to see lives lost in shocking attacks, murders in broad daylight. People don't care. Broad daylight incidents as well. Broad daylight murders. It's shocking. It's disgusting. It makes me feel sick. Paul Lloyd says, you can't have a deterrent if the police concentrate on safe, hurty word arrests. The police focus is all on that. That's what the UK police focus on. People's Facebook posts, monitoring YouTube comments, Twitter, all of the other social media platforms to see if people have been saying stuff. And actually, there's actually a bit of breaking news as well. Actually, I was on this live stream, funnily enough, talking about this one. But the lady, 2 seconds, I just screenshotted it actually. I think I've seen it. But the lady, when we're talking about free speech, 2 seconds, let me find it. If I can find it. Maybe I might do another video for that in a moment. But I think the lady that was holding the here we go. The British woman was found guilty of holding a sign saying "Here to talk." As I said, JD Vance was absolutely right with regard to free speech. Fucking hell. Some of these comments, guys. There we go. But yeah, guys, if you are just tuning in, I'll just conclude before I sign off. Essentially, a 16-year-old boy was stabbed in the throat slashed in broad daylight in Huddersfield yesterday, but died a couple of hours ago. It's been announced. A murder-based investigation has been, of course, launched. A 20-year-old man has been arrested. I think a 21-year-old and a 22-year-old have also been arrested in conspiring or being a part of assisting the murder. But at the time of recording, we don't know what the motive is. But if you want to find out a bit more information, there's a lot of big accounts on X currently, so take of that what you will, but there is certain rumours going around on the demographics of these individuals, so take that with a pinch of salt. We'll be here to keep you up to date when this murderer has his face revealed and been released, and we'll see what is gone on and provide you an update on why the 16-year-old boy had been killed. But guys, my thoughts and prayers go out to this young 16-year-old boy who has died, and his family, of course, that, as stated, a mother is going to be going into a bedroom, an empty bedroom, where her son once laid, and he will never be there ever again due to another shocking murder within the United Kingdom. Do let me know your thoughts on this one, guys, in the comment section below. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you all next time. Take care.